Hello, friends. We are to make and take number 2. So this is our Valentine. It's February. We've got to do Valentines, right? So this is our Valentines. Sending you hugs and kisses. Um, Happy Valentine's Day. Everybody has one Valentine they could send to, whether it's your spouse, it's, I don't know, a special friend, just a friend, anybody, a grandchild, a child, whoever. Um, so we have sending you hugs and kisses. Happy Valentine's Day. I even decorated the envelope on this one. So I encourage you to decorate the insides, decorate the envelope, and do all the fun things. So here we have box number 2. So in our box, this is the one I'm going to be using. And I will tell you why I know that's the one I'm going to use. We've got Real Red ink. We have the strawberry slush again and the blending brush. We've got all of your card packets that are in here waiting for you to do this. Um, these sheets are masking sheets, and I'm going to show you how to use that in this video. You've also got, oh, geez, we got all kinds of stuff going on. This is just the Endless Love stamps that we're going to be using. So maybe if you don't like hugs and kisses, you could do today and always. So maybe it's a friend, your best friend or whatever, you could switch it out to today and always. So this is, and these are the die cuts that we have that match. So we're going to be using some of the die cuts off of this as well. They're all pre-die cut for you, but you are going to have to use the cut and emboss machine to do some embossing. So we know what this is. Here's more if you need them. Oh, that's what it is. It's caught on my, but that's what these are. And I'm going to show you how to use that. We've got some little loose Valentine assortments. These are going to be our little embellishments. We've got the Hearts of Love 3D embossing folder. So we're going to be using that. And then I've got all the stamps already done up for you. There is you can choose to use a blending brush or you can use the little foam. And then this is really old packaging, you guys, but it is the white baker's twine. So it's just some old packaging of product that I had. So I'm going to take everything out. And this all might be out already if you are coming in and this project is somebody else is already doing the project. So as a matter of fact, I am going to grab the today and always off of this one. And I'll make that card for this time. So you don't have to do hugs and kisses. All right. And then I'm just going to put it in. Um, so this is how I like, I saw this, somebody else's was showing how they did their packaging. And I do like this envelope. What I did is I just put the envelope flap in the inside, and I like to see what's all on it. I always love to see what the words are and what the shapes and everything are. And then I can just throw my stamp in the back. Same thing with the die cut. I do have some magnetic sheets and that you'll see that some of them are put on. If I'm going to be using them a lot, like there's some circles and some tags and that kind of thing, I have those on magnetic sheets, but this one, I don't know how much I'll be using it. So, and I'd like to rubber band them together so that I know that they coordinate and go together. That's just my OCD. So here's everything that you need should be in the envelope. All right, so I'm going to put those back in because I've got everything that I need out. Put that off to the side for right now. And then let's get stamping and starting and doing all of our fun things. All right. So the reason I chose this one is I am kind of going through a lot of my paper and that type of thing. When I first started, they didn't have the double-sided cardstock in 12 by 12. They didn't have any double-sided cardstock. So the only way you could get 12 by 12 cardstock is to buy it in an assorted pack. So some of you are going to have a solid color all the way through cardstock. I was using that. It's going to give you the same effect, that raised embossed effect. And some of you are going to have the double-sided cardstock. So that's what I wanted to explain and why I chose this one. You can see it's just a shade. One side's lighter and darker, and you'll see how it emboss a little bit differently. You're still going to see those hearts in here, but they're going to be a little bit differently defined. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to use my Stampin' Up! Cut and emboss machine. And hopefully this one is not so jiggly. I did a little investigating in between 1 and 2 of the make and takes and found out that all I needed was a washer. So I added my washer onto my camera holder and hopefully everything is good. That was probably one of the things that happened in the move. So give me 1 second and I'll be back and we'll get embossing. All right, ready to do some embossing. So we have our cut and emboss machine, and I want to explain embossing and cutting because you're going to do a little of both this weekend. Um, so start with base 1. You're going to use 1 in everything that you do. So it tells you exactly how to do everything. Right now, through Stamping Up, everything that all their embossing folders that they have are 3D embossing folders. So we're always going to use that one when we do a 3D embossing. So we've got different plates, A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. I have one other thing that I like, simply because it's, I don't know, I just like it. It's the Magic Mat from scrapbook.com. It's self-healing and it doesn't get all warped. And I really like that. So we're just going to create our sandwich. We're going to do 1 and 4. And we're going to put our hearts of love in between here. All right, so I'm going to open up. I am going to line up I want the darker side. And I'm going to just put my hearts of love right in like that. One, the folder, and then number 4. And I'm just going to run it through. Look at very little shaking. Woohoo! All right. So it is done. It might snap, crackle, and pop on you, but that's okay. So there it is. It's so cool. And you can see it's going to have that same effect, but I could sand this and I could get little white because it is a white centered. All right, I'm going to put this stuff away and we'll continue. Okay, so let's put our card together. So here's our card and our envelope. So let's get our pieces together. So here is our nice and new embossed. We've got a couple pieces of cardstock in our little envelope here. This is your card base. So you can see where it's been scored and you want the mountain on the inside. And I'm going to fold it over and I'm going to use my bone folder and go ahead and score it. The first card that you made was probably already scored because it's been in for so long. Then we have a piece of white, 2 pieces of white cardstock. We have one that's going to go on here and this one's going to go on the inside. And then we've got all kinds of little things. But before we do any of that, what we're going to do is we're going to take our little sponge. Now this is strawberry slush, and this is this solid cardstock. I'm going to go back in my strawberry slush with my sponge this time. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to ink the edges of my card. It's just going to make it a little softer. So nothing too fancy, just a little inking around. You can do as much or as little as you would like. All right, so I made it all the way around. Now, I am going to build the top of my card and then put it on. So the next layer would be the heart, the embossed hearts, and then we have 3 strips. So I'm going to do the opposite side of what I did on this card, just so that you can see what it's going to look like. But before that, I like to keep things a little tidy and straight. So I have my grid paper here. So I like to line up my base. I did fix my green glue, I hope. This one is from 2019, so it's been used well. So I'm going to use the opposite sides, and I'm going to put that light colored one in the middle. So I'm going to do the row of hearts. So I'm just going to do, oh, look at it, works. The green glue works. All right, so I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to start about 1/4 of an inch in. And look at what I can do. I can line this up. And this up, and because I've got it on my green glue, I can move it around a little bit. So I know I have that first piece. Whoa, wait a second. Oh, Amy, oof, what are we doing here? Okay. Deanna's out um, doing a food run for us. We had to go let out our daughter's dogs, and he was going to stop and get us some food. And then we load the trailer. So we're going to do the same thing in the next one. The green glue. This one I'm not going to measure so much. And the reason I'm doing it before I put everything on is if I'm a little over, I can go ahead now and I can trim these. And I would definitely use a stronger glue because when you're gluing on something that's embossed or that's shiny, that can make a huge difference. So I love this dot, the polka dot. Okay, so there we go. All right, and now I'm just going to take my scissors. See, there's a couple, this guy's a little bit long, and this one's a little long on this end. And just snip those off. All right, now we're ready to assemble. So I'm going to go ahead. Sure, my green glue is working. Oh, it probably has a big gob. Woo! Yes, it did. Isn't it fun when you're doing this live? So I'm just going to do this. All right, and where are we going to put this? We'll do it right up there. Big glob of glue. All right. Fun, fun. All right, so we're going to add this to the white. Now it's going to have a real skinny little border. Just a little hint of a border. There we go. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to use some dimensionals, some pop dots, and I'm going to pop up this piece. You can pop whatever you want, but sometimes it's kind of nice to pop up that back part. Um, I like that look. It can be different than popping up different things. So here's my trick. If you have the take your pick tool, you can just go through and pop these little babies off. It's like a flick of your wrist. Poke in and flick, and they come right off, and they are on your tool, and you can put them right in the garbage. And they're not flying all over the place. All right, now we're going to add it to our card front. And that white just really adds a lot. Ooh, this guy's a little crooked. I'm going to see if I can move him. I have a lot of glue. You saw I have a lot of glue. Okay. This glue, as it dries, it gets a little more repositionable. I got glue everywhere. Glue everywhere. All right. So we've got that done. We're going to do a little more stamping. We're going to do some stamping, not a little more. We're going to do some stamping. So we have a heart, and we've got a little tag, and we have the inside, and we have our envelope. So we're going to stamp on all of these. So we're going to do different things with each one of them. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the sending you. Sending you. This is where we're going to use some of our masking. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to cut a little bit of this masking. I'm just going to cut a strip. Okay. And you'll see why. Now you can do this a couple different ways, because if you look at this stamp, jeez, this is the way my life goes, people. So you get to see the real thing. So it's sending you all across. Look at this card. I didn't have room for it. So we had to do a little bit of adjusting. So we can do a couple different things. This is the way I like to do it. So sending, and then I put my heart down, and I'm going to just stamp sending. Boop, sending. Oh, you know what? I think I did it in the bright red on the card on real red. Now, you can do it a couple different ways. So using the masking, I can go ahead and go you. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so I've inked up, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this masking right over top of sending. And now I can just stamp you. Pretty cool, huh? So I guess it was not supposed to be strawberry slush, but that's okay. And you should have, or you could clean your stamp in between and just go off the edge. The nice thing about the clear stamps is that you can see exactly where you're stamping. So that's awesome. Okay, so that one's ready for somebody else. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's open the real red, because this is what I did with these, is I did real red. And look at, I have this already done for you. It says Happy Valentine's Day. So we're going to do the inside, and it's perfectly ready for you to go. So this is the inside of your card. And I'm going to go down a little bit. Happy Valentine's Day. So that one's cool. All ready for you to go. And again, just using my stamp chamois, you can leave it in the container. You can just take it off, and just be careful with the red. It will sometimes kind of go all over. All right, this one, we're going to do a couple different things. So you can see my envelope has the hearts going down, and then these are like one time stamped off. So I'm going to use my hearts on my envelope going down to create my border. Okay, so I've got my envelope done. And now I'm going to take my Happy Valentines in the red, real red, stamp off, and then I'm going to add some hearts up there, stamp off, and I'm going to add some hearts in the bottom. All right, we're ready to clean that one. So since I did this in the strawberry slush, we're done with our real red, so we can close that up, put that away. I'm going to do this one, and what did I had the now, today and always on this one. So I'm just going to take Hugs and Kisses off and add Today and Always. I'm going to ink it in my strawberry slush. And there is a right and wrong way. Today and Always. There it is. Okay, let's clean up some stamps and put them away so we don't get anything full of ink. We did the Happy Valentine's Day. We've got the hearts, the multiple hearts. Sending you we already did, and then here is the today and always, and the hugs and kisses. I'm just going to put that one on one side, one on the other. All right. So we're going to take our ink pad now, or our strawberry slush. We're going to take our blending brush, and you could use the sponge too, but I'm going to use the blending brush since I've got it here. And I'm just going to add a little to sending you, just a little. And then I'm going to also do just a little bit on Happy Valentine's Day. Or Galentine's Day, like we're doing today, this weekend. All right, we're just about done. So what we're going to do now is we are going to put this on here. I did pop mine up. So I took one of my foam dots, which is hopefully not in my big pile of glue. I like to use this outside. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't throw it away. This is perfectly great um, adhesive. Okay, so I did this. I popped mine up here, and I'm just going to align my hole there and here. I'm going to grab some of my baker's twine, and I am going to just go through, and I'm going to tie a little bow on it. I'm going to do this all before I get it on my card because I'm not a good bow maker. I find that rabbit ears are an easier way to make a bow sometimes. So I've got a big bow, and I kind of hold the middle and then pull the strings and then pull it tight again to get it kind of where I want it. I'm not the greatest bow tire. I will tell you that right now. All right. So now we're going to go ahead. We can use some of this glue that was up here in the corner that came out in this big wad of glue. We're going to put this on the inside. Again, I like this grid paper. I can kind of line things up. Happy Valentine's Day. We're ready to go. I'm going to put a couple of foam dots on here. I've always liked the Stampin' Up! Foam. I think it's comes into two different sizes, comes in white, and there is black. So if you're working on a dark color, you can do that. So I'm going to just kind of put it on the middle, just like that. And then we've got these cute little hearts and little mail, pieces of mail. I'm going to take my green glue and I'm going to make sure it works. Yeah, little dots because I don't want big goobers of it. And I'm just going to go ahead and add where I want my to go. I'm going to use my take your pick tool, and I'm going to use the end with a little goobery stuff on it to pick up these little hearts. And put them on the little blops of glue. There's even little lips. Did you see the little lips in here? That's so cute. Let's see, what else do I have? There we go. We'll do that heart up there. And on mine, I actually did a little piece of mail right there. This little envelope with a heart on it. Right. Ooh! There it goes. I think it's upside down. My heart's upside down. we go. All right. Oh, I'm missing one. All right. Here we go. Sending you today and always. Hugs and kisses. Happy Valentine's Day. All right, there we go. That's it. Card number 2.